So today, I think today is going to be a shorter stream than usual because we've only one door to go through in our playthrough tonight. Like, there's only one option available to us, and that is going to be door 2, and that will railroad us into our second ending. So let me swap over here. And we'll just get into it. Looking excited for today's stream. Well, thank you. That also means a lot. There we go. And right. So no, we are not playing Yakuza 4. Not yet. We will be after .hack 3. We will be swapping over to Yakuza 4. Digimon Story is coming, but not here on Twitch. That will be elsewhere. So get hype for that, I guess. I love it. I love this music so much. Yeah. Here we go. The Nonary Games.
What the hell happened to me?
Junpei, are you alright?
Hey, what are you two doing?
Come on, are you coming?
What do you mean to do to us?
Try using your brain first.
All of the cards are in.
Holy shit, this is nuts. Let me show you.
How are you feeling? I am Zero the Third, the king of this kingdom! I'm plenty friendly. Hold on a minute! That is the truth.
Who am I? How can I forget?
Then how do I take it
What
off?
makes you so sure?
Hello?
I will let that intro run every time, because it is glorious. Alright. So we're back in the large hospital room. And
We must go. We have very little time left.
Thanks, Ace. Ace's words put their feet to moving. They all knew where they were going.
Our next destination is Mercury.
Right. Now, a lot of this, I feel like we should be able to skip over a bit of this. So, let me see. Yep.
Here we go.
Oh, never mind. They stood in front of the elevators next to the stairs that led to the casino and the kitchen. The lotus symbol. Between the two elevators was a card reader with the Mercury symbol engraved on it. Junpei stood in front of it with the Mercury key card.
Oh, that's the...
Yeah, I found it in the shower room.
Oh, I see. It's got the Mercury symbol.
Poor Snake, though. Oh, Snake is very dead. He was blown up, and we still don't know by who. He took a deep breath and slid the card through the reader. It made a small beep and the lights on the reader blinked to life.
Now we can go.
7 people, including Junpei, climbed into the elevator.
Looks like there's only 2 floor buttons working.
C and bottom.
Bottom, huh? Sounds like a sub to me. The rest were destroyed or did nothing when pushed.
Time to head down then.
Yeah, we know C deck is like, what, completely flooded? Or is that D deck? Either way. We hit the bottom button. The door closed. Slowly, they began to move downward. Also, is audio okay for everyone? Sometime later, all 7 of them stepped off the elevator and onto the bottom deck. They stepped off and saw that the hallway to their right ended somewhere between 20 and 25 feet from them. The hallway in front of them was a dead end. But not a regular dead end.
This is a numbered door.
Yeah, it's door 2.
Immediately, they began to discuss who would go through it.
So who should go through the door this time?
We don't need to be discussing who we're leaving behind this time, right?
Right. It's set up so we'll be able to meet up again once we get through the numbered doors.
Then there's no need for arguments at this point.
We should figure out who's going in first.
Very well. Would anyone like to volunteer?
I'll do it.
The first to speak up was 7.
I'll go too.
And I suppose I need to go too then.
Junpei followed suit, which meant Lotus was, by default, the 3rd member. 5 plus 7 plus 8 is 20. 2 plus 0 equals 2.
Alright, we're taking off.
Okay, please be careful.
Jesus. You two are acting like you're married, you know that?
Oh,
No, we're not. June blushed. So did Junpei.
Don't be silly. Cut it out.
Perhaps in an attempt to hide his emotions, he quickly turned away to pull the lever on the red. The door opened. As they'd come to expect, there appeared to be a short hallway on the other side.
Alright, let's go.
Lotus was the first through the door.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
7 was next, and Junpei brought up the rear.
Where the hell is it this time?
I don't see it!
There it is! It's right there!
Fortunately, it took them only moments to find the dead. It had been placed just inside the room, right next to the numbered door. They gathered around it and quickly scanned each of their bracelets.
It stopped.
Yeah, it stopped.
Junpei could feel his heart pounding against the inside of his ribs. 7 and Lotus were breathing hard and fast.
Man, I'll never get used to that.
I'm not sure it's something I'd want to get used to. We should finish this game before imminent death becomes a normal thing.
Damn right.
All right.
Junpei looked around again.
This hallway's pretty short, but it's got 5 doors. 3 on the left, and only 1 on the right.
Don't forget the last one at the end of the hall.
But it's got a metal plate over it, so I doubt we're gonna get anywhere that way.
After taking a look around the room himself, 7 spoke.
All right, let's get started. I think we'd probably better split up. You two okay with that?
I mean, it's the easiest way to examine what's behind each door, right? So, not sure we really have a choice, but whatever.
Yes, no problem.
Sure thing.
Then I'll take this first one.
7 nodded to them and stepped into the room closest to him.
I'll try the one next to it.
At last, Junpei was left alone.
Well, I guess I'd better get started too.
I guess you'd better. He looked intently at the remaining 3 doors. Ka-chong, ka-chong. Okay. So, confinement room. Front hallway. Interesting. So... where to start? Unsure. This will... ugh. Ew. There's a dirty blanket on the bed. Man, this is a mess. It's not even a bed anymore. Can't say I'd want to sleep there. What's with the swirl? What the hell's this supposed to be? Like a drawing of a whirlpool or something. Well, if I had to guess, I'd say it's trying to look like water. There's a tile stuck in the drain. Let me take it out? There's a little tile in the drain. Doesn't look like we're gonna be able to pull it out of there. Might have to use our heads on this one. Alright, let's figure this thing out. We turn on the tap? Huh. Looks like the water doesn't work. Doesn't matter how much 7 turns that thing. No water's coming out. Is the water being shut off from somewhere else? Ew. The crest of courage? What? Is Taichi's crest just trash? A symbol on the toilet lid, huh? This seems a little fishy to me. It's a sun symbol, but it doesn't look like the ones on the doors. Damn, this toilet's pretty nasty to begin with, but the inside's even worse. Honestly, I'm amazed you could bring yourself to touch it. Ha! There's way nastier stuff out there in the world than a gross toilet. You're a real deep thinker, aren't you? Hey, this handle's pretty loose. Loose? Do you think it'll come off if you pull on it? It fell off. Huh, look at this. That handle doesn't really fit on the string. Maybe it was meant to be attached to it? Maybe it wasn't meant to be attached to it. Interesting. It's got a little crevice there. Take a look at this handle. The inside of the hole's threaded like you're supposed to screw something in there. We seen anything that might fit in there? I don't think so, but have a look. Toilet paper tube, huh? I seriously doubt I'm gonna need this for anything. Oh, that looks like the tip of a screwdriver. Well, this part is thinner than the rest. In fact, this doesn't really look like it's part of the rest of this thing. This rod feels loose. Maybe if I give it a couple of turns. Here we go. Screwdriver shaft. Hey, we get to make another sonic screwdriver. So if I just stick this metal rod into the handle. Hey! Oh, thank God it's the right kind of screwdriver for that screw. Awesome! We can totally use this. Damn, this screwdriver looks like a soldering iron. You think it's some sort of industrial-grade screwdriver? I guess that doesn't really matter. Anyway, so long as we've got this thing, we can unscrew any Phillips screws we run into. Okay, so... what else are we looking for, then? Alright, what else are we missing? Oh! This thing's really simple. Is it really a desk? Well, of course it's gonna be simple. I mean, it's probably like that so we don't try to use it as part of the puzzle, right? You probably use a desk to write letters to your family or something, but this is a boat. I'll bet the only thing they used this for was eating off of. It's a really simple desk. There's only one drawer in it. Huh, what the hell? It's not opening. There's something up with this drawer. I don't trust it. Okay. Now there we go. Sweet! Got the screws off. Oh, now we can open the drawer. There's nothing in here. Well, maybe the drawer's what we need. The drawer, huh? Alright, let's yank the thing out. Okay, yeah, that on the back looks a bit sus. There's a bump on the back. Wonder what it's for. Maybe there's a hole somewhere, and these bumps line up with it and trigger a hidden switch or something. Hey, we've seen weirder stuff. Doesn't seem that far-fetched. Far! Who said that? This drawer has a weird bump on the back. Maybe there's some kind of switch somewhere that these bumps fit? Seems a little far-fetched, though. Right. Maybe we just explore the other rooms now? Because I'm not really sure what else we can do here. Somebody made some wavy blue lines on this mirror with blue paint. Is that a drawing of a blue scarf? No, maybe not. Blue scarf, what is this? Hyrule Warriors? So these sinks they're on the opposite sides of this wall, right? No, it's not just the sinks. Everything's opposite, like a mirror image. So, that's normal if you're both using the same water pipes, right? There's no knob on this faucet. There's no way we can get water out of it like this. If we can find a knob or something that'll work as one, then we should be able to get water to come out of this thing. Towel. Well, it looks like a towel. I have to wonder if the design means anything, though. Maybe you should consider what the design might be. Perhaps that'll give us a hint. Okay. That bed looks cold. Pretty sure you'd freeze to death in the winter. No kidding. If I tried to sleep here, my skin would dry out in no time. Well, it's not like you're that young anymore. That shouldn't really matter. My, Junpei, aren't you lucky? It seems you'll die before you have a chance to grow old and hideous. I'm sorry, you're right. Dry skin is a woman's worst enemy. A moon? What a filthy, disgusting moon. Yeah, it's pretty filthy, but it's a precious hint. Let's remember it, alright? Okay, so one toilet says the sun, this toilet says the moon. It's just hanging from the wall. Well, if we're pulling the string, then it must be a toilet that flushes. Okay, so we're not going to? This paper seems to be pretty old. Ew. How the hell can you touch that? It's horrible. Well, it's not like I've really got any choice, do I? It's not like I want to. There's nothing in the drawer. Yeah. Something's not right, though. The handle on that drawer doesn't really fit, you know? It just looks messy. Why don't you take it out? Oh, hey, is that like a mirror on the back? So there's a mirror on the other side of this drawer. Interesting. It's kind of an odd shape, and it looks like someone attached the handle with a screw after the fact. Oh, okay, so combine. If I use the screwdriver on the screw on the center of the handle, maybe I can... Knob! Well, that came off easily enough. It looks like a faucet handle. Yeah, it seemed a little weird to put it on a wooden drawer like this. I'm sure they made it look odd on purpose. With a shape like that, there's only one place it could go. Sweet! The handle I got off that drawer fits onto the faucet perfectly. Now I can turn the water on. Junpei, what are you doing? It's pretty obvious, isn't it? I'm running the water. I can see that. I'm asking you why you're just letting it run like that. Think about it, Lotus. This faucet didn't have a knob when we found it, right? What do you mean? Just watch. Any time now. Hey, water's filling up. Doesn't that just mean the pipes are clogged? Whoops. Let's turn it off for now. So, did anything change? The water stopped flowing. Thank you, Mr. Obvious. Junpei, I'm leaving this one to you, alright? Okay, I think we annoyed her. But, judging by the towel's hint, we should be able to go back in here now. Hey, and hey look, the tile is in the water. So, we've got this tile. And it's got these red, blue, and grey lines. What the heck's this stuff mean? Hell if I know. Hup. Junpei put the wet tile into his pocket. He was about to turn away when... there was a noise behind him.
What the?
He spun around to see Seven kneeling on the floor. His face was rigid and pale. Droplets of sweat covered his forehead.
Hey, what's going on? Are you okay, man? You're sweating like crazy. Are you all right?
He was concerned. He'd never seen Seven like this before. Slowly, the other man lifted himself to his feet on shaky legs.
Oh. Yeah, I'm fine. Just got a little dizzy, that's all.
His face was pale and his breathing was heavy. Sweat was pouring off his face and staining his shirt.
That's definitely more than just a little dizzy. Are you sure? You don't look so good.
Seven didn't answer. Half of his face was twisted, as if distorted by extreme pain, and his eyes were glazed. Finally, he spoke.
What am I doing here?
Huh?
Huh? His words made no sense.
What are you talking about? We opened the number 2 door and walked in here. Don't tell me you forgot.
No, that's not what I mean.
He shook his head several times, as if trying to clear something from it.
It ain't much, but I think some of my memories came back. I think I've been here before.
Huh?
Huh?
I said I've been in this room before.
Yeah, I heard you. I just doesn't make sense.
You were here? When? Why?
Aoi, Light, Nona.
Light? Light Yagami? Suddenly, Seven was mumbling to himself. They were words Junpei didn't understand. Also, Nona? As in 9, as in Nonary? What? Blue... Aoi means blue, right? So, blue light 9? What? Suddenly, Seven was mumbling to himself. They were words Junpei didn't understand. Seven's hoarse voice trailed off, and Junpei couldn't make out what he'd said.
What the hell was that?
Seven's brow furrowed furiously, and he ground his teeth back and forth.
It's right there. I feel like I'm this close to remembering everything, but I just can't.
Seven stopped, frustrated. He pulled his hat off and ran a hand through his hair. And then suddenly, he looked up, his eyes wide.
That's right, an experiment. There was some kind of experiment going on this ship.
An experiment? What sort of experiment?
They were trying to control people. Or something like that.
What the hell are you talking about?
Junpei didn't know what to make of Seven's story. Instead, he simply stared as Seven continued.
Aoi, Light, and Nona. Those were their names. Well, some of them. The kids that were in the experiment, I mean. I think there were 4 or 5 more, but I don't remember all their names. Yeah, that's right. That's why I'm here.
Seven began to mumble to himself and wander aimlessly about the room. He looked confused. So far as Junpei could tell, the man was simply rambling, and there were odd twitches to his movements.
Experiment. Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Those kidnapped kids. Was I working that case?
Seven continued to mumble to himself about things that meant nothing to Junpei.
Huh?
Junpei didn't have any answers for him, of course. He couldn't understand what was happening to Seven. All he could do was wait. After a few minutes, Seven finally stopped.
Wait, under this bed.
He crouched down and looked under the bed. His face registered mild surprise, and he began to mumble to himself again.
Bones gone? No, maybe it was a different room. There's gotta be a ton of rooms on this boat that look just like this one.
At last, Junpei could contain himself no longer.
Hey, what exactly do you remember? Maybe you could stop talking like a crazy person and tell me what's going on here.
Seven stood up slowly.
Well, it's not like I really remember everything. I've only got bits and pieces, and they're scattered and don't make much sense.
I don't care. Tell me the bits and pieces then.
Junpei could feel it. Whatever Seven had remembered, it was important. Very important.
Okay.
Seven drew a large, muscled hand down across his face. As he wiped the sweat from his brow, he spoke.
From what I can remember, I think I was a cop.
A cop?
Yeah. I was looking for that group of kids that got kidnapped 9 years ago. You remember that, right? It was all over the news.
Yeah, I was still in school. I don't remember all the details, but I do remember some of it.
9 years ago, huh?
I think it was a bunch of kids right around my age. They all just disappeared. Nobody knew why. It was all over TV and the newspapers every day. So you're saying you were investigating it?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And I guess I found something. There was this medical company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals that had something to do with those kids. After I figured that out, I managed to get some information out of somebody who worked for them. I think it was...
Tonight, a ship is set to take the children to a large passenger liner docked offshore.
Yeah, that had to been it. That's why I went to the wharf.
Look at him!
From the shadows, I searched the harbor until I found the ship he was talking about. There was a bunch of movement near it. Men in black suits, many of them were carrying large bags. The bags. There was something about the way they moved as they were carried. No doubt about it. There were human beings in those bags. I moved before I realized it. I came out of hiding with my gun already in my hand. Don't move. I felt metal touch the back of my head. Drop the gun. He kept digging the cold metal thing into my skull. There was nothing I could do. Did what he said and laid my gun on the ground. Then suddenly, there was a sharp pain in my neck. A needle. A drug. That was my last thought. My face hit cold concrete. I was out like a light after that.
Huh. Okay, then.
I woke up on a hard floor. Damn it. Shit, my head hurts. Where am I? A small, shabby bed, a dirty sink.
I'm sorry, and I don't mean to be rude, but that shot of Seven, just as he was like, you know, the way his face was drawn or like turned and contorted, he looked like a swole walkie-talkie. Anyway.
A toilet with no privacy. I'd seen it countless times as a cop. I'm in a cell, huh?
Look at him! He's just a swole walkie-talkie.
Facing the toilet was a door set into the wall. It was still pretty woozy, but I made my way over to it. I pushed and pulled on it, but... it won't open. Not like I expected much else. It would be dumb enough to put me in a cell and leave it unlocked. Threw myself against the door a few times, but it wouldn't budge. I knew it. I gave up and made my way back to the bed and sat down. I sat there for a very, very long time. Who knows how long. Then, I heard a faint voice.
Oh.
The voice was far away. I couldn't understand what it was saying. But I could hear one. It was pretty high, probably a little kid. Huh? No, it was several. I hear 5 or 6, maybe more. Where are they coming from? I pressed my ear to the wall and tried to listen through it. No, that's not it. Left. It's coming from under the bed? I hauled on the metal frame and flipped the thing over. And there it was. The bed had hidden an air vent under it. The hole in the wall was covered by a metal grate. I dropped flat on the floor and peered through the grate. I couldn't see shit. But I knew it in my gut. This was where those voices were coming from. Hold up. Why are there kids here? But then what my inside man told me popped into my head.
Tonight, a ship is set to take the children to a large passenger liner docked offshore.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Am I on that ship? It didn't matter. All I knew was I had to get to those kids. I checked out the metal grate. Could I fit? I stuck my fingers in and grabbed it. And then... Yeah! How do you like that, you son of a bitch?
You go get him, Seven. You show that grade who's boss.
I finally got the damn thing off. Sweat was dripping down my face, so I wiped it off and crawled inside.
Junpei waited for Seven to resume his story. The longer he waited, however, the clearer it became that Seven had no intention of doing so. He had gone silent and simply stared off into the air, his eyes blank.
Hey. What happened after that?
He'd waited long enough. But Seven shook his head.
I don't remember what happens after that. I think I found some kind of door out of the duct. And I think I found some kids, too.
Oh. Huh.
Not good. Why can't I remember what happened next?
Ah, man, what happened to the kids, Seven? Did you save them?
I don't know. I don't know if it was me. I've got this feeling. I think one of the kids died.
-5 stars!
Okay. Oh.
A girl, I think.
Huh?
Deep in his heart, Junpei felt something very cold. Seven's head dropped, and Junpei saw on it a look of sadness, the likes of which he had never seen on the man before. The large man's eyes blinked rapidly, as if he were fighting back tears. He swallowed hard. His sigh was like the melancholy setting of an old, abandoned building. He shook his head and spoke.
Anyway, just please don't ask me anymore, okay? I really don't remember anything else.
After that, Junpei could hardly try to force any answers out of the other man.
It's fine. Don't push yourself. Going by what he said?
Junpei left Seven to pull himself together, and instead began thinking everything over.
The children who had been kidnapped 9 years before? Apparently a company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals had been behind it all. They'd taken the children to the same ship we're on now. They'd been brought here for an experiment. Seven said it had something to do with controlling human beings. The 16 children who had been kidnapped were the subjects. Seven had said 3 of their names were Aoi, Light, and Nona. I think that's all I got. Oh, and Seven is, or was at some point, a cop. I can't really use any of this information anyway. I didn't learn anything about the Nonary Game or Zero. Why were we brought to the same ship where they'd done those experiments 9 years ago? And just what the heck is this about controlling human beings? That's nuts. Did they really conduct an experiment like that?
Before long, Junpei realized he had spent quite some time deep in thought.
I don't have time to just stand here thinking. I need to get moving.
Junpei shook his head quickly to clear it, and returned to his investigation, the thoughts swirling in his mind. Okay, well. Let me go back here for a second. I love. Hold on. Whoomp, whoomp, whoomp. Whoomp, whoomp, whoomp. What the fuck is that sound? Anyway, I want to put the drawer with the bump in here and see if we get anything. Oh, there we go. Sounded like something falling. What was that? I heard it too. Let's open the drawer. Another tile. Have you taken a close look at this tile, Junpei? I noticed that 3 red lines here are actually on top of the other lines. The red lines? Yes. 14, huh? The tile with the 3 colored lines on it, right? Junpei, did you notice this? The red lines. Don't they look like they form a 14? 14, huh? Yeah, I guess it kinda does. So, what do the other... what does the other one do? That's also a 14. 14 in hexadecimal is E, right? Okay. Wom, wom, wom. Huh. So... alright, so this is just a Zelda puzzle then, right? So we put the... use our mirror drawer. Oh yeah! We can probably use this mirror to reflect the light. I just gotta figure out where to reflect the light. Maybe if I go somewhere that's a little easier to shine light on. When I shine light on the mirror in the back... Is that a number? So if I shine light on this mirror, I get to see some numbers. 47. I can see a 4 on the left and a 7 on the right. 4 and 7. So if I shine this light on the mirror in the back... Get it! If I shine a light on the mirror, symbols appear. The left side has a sun, and the right has a moon. So sun 4, moon 7? I'm gonna remember this. Sun 4, moon 7. Okay, so... Oh, it's... Oh, no, don't want the flowchart. There's nothing special about this toilet paper. I don't really need to think I don't really think I need to bother shining any light on it. Okay, so we're just not allowed to examine behind here? Okay, that's rude. Okay, it's nice to see the sink lit up, I guess, but all that chills me is the pipe. Wow, the game doesn't really not want me in here, huh? This desk is old and rusty. Ah! God damn it! No matter how hard I pull on this damn thing, it won't budge. Guess I won't be opening this anytime soon. Doesn't look like it's got a keyhole. There doesn't seem to be anything stopping it. How the hell am I supposed to open it? Alright, so we gotta go back to the other rooms. Hey, Monstar, how you doing? So... we gotta flush this toilet 4 times, I think. The only thing you can manipulate in this room is that string. Chances are they made this puzzle so someone wouldn't trigger it by accident. I guess I should just keep pulling on this thing then. 2... 3rd... 4th... Did you just hear something? I did, but doesn't look like anything's happened here. Huh. Wonder what that sound was. And then into the other room. Let's flush the other one 7 times. Gorgeous. Oh, you! You flatterer, you. But I'm doing okay. Surviving the snow. So 7 times on this one. So this is what the moon symbol was pointing to, huh? Probably made it so that someone wouldn't trigger it by accident, if that's the case. This is the 6th consecutive time! There's that sound again. It happens whenever I pull that string a couple of times. Junpei, Did you hear something from the other room? The other room? You mean from the dark room? Yeah, my daughter's mother spent 2.5 hours trying to get to work today. 4 miles away. Only got halfway there. Oh, God. Suddenly everyone needs to pee. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm sorry, I can't get over that. I can't get over that. Hey, well, this drawer opens easily enough. So 2 more tiles with 14s on them. Hey, don't blame me. That's Zero's doing. Okay. Well, it looks like we've investigated all of the rooms. The only mystery left is that door. Alright, let's crack that mystery then. We've got 4 tiles. And there are a bunch of tiles that are the same size up on the wall there. So if we replace 4 tiles on the wall with the ones we've got, that door should open. Well, there's only one way to find out. Yep, let's replace all the E's. Oh. Not the most intuitive of puzzles, but E is 14 in hexadecimal, so there we go. Hey, did you just hear something unlock? Does that mean we got it right? Yes, it looks like we did. The 14 hidden on the tile. If you convert that to hexadecimal, it's an E. Basically, the E's in emergence are the 14s from the tiles. So if we replace it, that gives up the answer. Do you really care why it worked? Let's just get out of here. Yes, let's go! Let's get out of here. Let's do the thing. Let's escape this horrible place.
Let's do this!
Astral Y. They passed through the open door and headed to the next room. Junpei jogged down the short staircase and looked around. This place. Oh God.
What the hell is this place?
I'd forgotten about this. The words had sprung unbidden to his lips, but it was clear why. Junpei shivered. Lotus and Seven reached the bottom of the stairs and stopped short, terrified.
Ugh, this room is really creepy.
I think we ought to get the hell out of here now.
He jogged up the stairs to the opposite side of the room and shook the door on the wall next to the catwalk. It didn't open, and he muttered to himself.
Figures.
It's locked, isn't it?
Yep. Don't know why I thought this would be any different.
So, what is this room for, anyway?
Junpei looked around the room again.
Well, there's a chair in the center of the room.
Oh, looks uncomfortable to say the least. I'd rather not sit in it if I can avoid it.
The back of it was covered with electrodes connected to a nest of wires.
Looks like it's placed over some kind of glass panel.
I think the second game had the best puzzles. Yeah, the puzzles in Virtue's Last Reward are pretty good.
Too dark to look through it, though.
Junpei turned to look at the right side of the room. There was a table covered with a piece of cloth.
This isn't dried blood on the tablecloth, is it?
Oh, God. Quite? possibly we are in some sort of torture room. So, ugh. On top of the table were a number of metal instruments. Junpei didn't know what they were for, and he had a feeling he didn't want to find out.
Oh, what the hell is this? What are these tools for?
That's not something I even want to think about.
Junpei shook his head in an attempt to clear it, and tried to focus on something else.
No doubt about it. This room's dangerous. Let's make our search quick so we can solve the puzzle and get the hell out of here.
Uh-huh.
Come on.
Also, am I misremembering, or did Junpei's eyes used to come up in that Seek a Way Out graphic? Am I misremembering something, or did he... Or am I just imagining his eyes used to be in there? Mandela effect? Oh no, we're in the Berenstain universe, not the Berenstain one. Oh no. A really creepy chair. The manacles make me think it was used to torture people. Well, we can't open these manacles without a key. There's some sort of weird symbol on him. Red, yellow. You think the colors mean something? No idea. I mean, red looks more dangerous, but other than that... The bottom of this one looks like it's covered in rust. I don't think it'll move at all. There are a number of ominous-looking tools and instruments here. Let's see, we've got an adze, and a hammer, a pair of forceps, and these other things are too old and broken. I have no idea what they are. Hey, doesn't this wrench look way too new to be here with all this other stuff? Yes, it does. I didn't notice it before you mentioned it, but it's not rusty at all. Okay. Also, who was in charge of the texturing of this wrench? The whole pattern's off. Whatever AI upscaling they used on the DS version has just... The texture on the handle just does not align at all. A number of rusty torture tools are lined up here. I don't think there's anything else here we need. Yeah. Oh, God. Derpy wrench. A little bit. So, how do we do an escape? The cover's bolted on there pretty good. Should be able to get those bolts off this wrench we just found, though. Oh, sweet, it's open. The hole's too small, you can't see in, even with the cover off. Well, you can't see in, but I think there's enough room to stick your arm in. Are you sure you want to do that? There could be something dangerous in there. Okay, I admit, that scares me a little. We need to see if there's anything useful in there. Alright, here we go. Arm into the hole. Hey, I think I can feel something. It's small, cold, and hard. Doesn't feel like there's anything else in here. Alright, let's see what this thing is. Sun key? Key with the sun symbol on it. Of course it's small if it's cold. Meg! Meg Winter! Okay. Although it's funny, just listening to this music, there's a bit where it goes ha 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 ha, kind of like the Fenico laugh there, but it reminds me of the intro to the Danganronpa theme. There. There it is. I keep preparing for the intro to the Danganronpa theme. A key with the sun symbol on it. I should be able to open the other door with this. Yeah, but we gotta get out of this room before we can do that. And we're probably gonna need the sun key to do that. But none of the other doors in this room have keyholes. I bet we gotta use it on something that's not a door. Okay. What else we got? There's something on the screen. This device will conduct the experiment. Once the experiment has been completed, the door will unlock. First, adjust the switches to match the blocks in the sample above. Huh? I don't know what this thing is, but we gotta figure out this puzzle. It's right next to a torture chair. Whatever it is, I don't think it's good. Anyway, we just adjust the switches to match the blocks up on top, right? You adjust the switches shown at the four corners of the screen, and then press the check button. Junpei, we don't know what this thing does. You can always come back to it later. There are lots of other things you could do. Huh. Check? Okay. So what about... Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get this just by randomly playing around with it. Oh, what? Adjustment is completed. Now proceeding to execution phase. To complete the experiment, data must be collected from subject. Once preparation is finished, place subject in chair. Whoa, whoa! I thought we solved the puzzle already. What does it mean by preparation? I don't know. I've got a bad feeling about this. I think this means one of us has got to sit in the chair. Well, 7's never going to fit in that thing. It's either you or me, Junpei. Collecting data. I wonder if it's going to run electricity through the subject. There's a human head on screen. Maybe it's gonna zap the brain with a little electricity? This really doesn't sound safe. Anyway, we've still gotta prepare. We can talk about this after we figured out what it means by preparation, alright? Well, it wants us to prepare, so maybe we ought to ask it what we need to do. Ask it? Error. The disposal tank is closed. Please fill tank with water. What tank? Oh man, don't tell me we gotta do something with a water tank. Well, there's probably something around here to open the tank, or whatever it's asking us to do. Yeah, it looks like the only controls are in this room. I'm not gonna question how they got that cover off with just a wrench. It needs a sledgehammer to open as well. Okay, these levers have got to turn something on. Of course they would. All they can do is turn something on or off. What's important is what they turn on or off. Don't say the floor is gonna suddenly open up. Yeah, oh god, could you imagine? You can see some oil or something down there at the base of the lever. Yeah, feels like it's got some movement to it. I should be able to pull this one. Alright, let's pull the lever. Pull the lever, Kronk. Is that water? Oh, what the hell? What's going on? Will you calm down? It's just water going somewhere. It sounds like it's underneath us. That means the floor... Oh! Junpei, look! What's she... Oh, damn. I can see through the glass now. Oh shit, it's a shark! There were a couple of letters in the color of blood written on the shark's belly. It's dead. Looks like the letters are E, D, B, and F. Oh, whatever these are for has to be in this room somewhere. That poor shark! I guess some... No, I was gonna say some days you can get rid of a shark, but that's a bomb. Alright, who used the shark repellent spray? E, D, B, and F on the shark's underside. Whatever those letters go to has to be in this room somewhere. Oh, that's the the console we just pulled the lever on. There's some buttons here, right? So... there are a bunch of buttons here with the letters A through F on them. Let's push some of them. Down you go. So if I press it again, back you come. I guess these buttons switch something on or off when you push them. So... E, D, B, F. What? There's a strange noise coming from the chair. It looks like it's been turned on. I guess the puzzle here was that the power had to be sent in a specific way. Oh, and then we need to use the key to unlock the manacles, right? Sun symbol. The sun key should fit into the keyhole on these manacles. Alright, sun key, in you go. And yes! Great, they're open. I don't think we're gonna need the sun key again in here, though. This seems unlikely. Alright, Sunkey, you've done your job. Into my pocket with you. The restraining device is unlocked. Please seat subject in device. The message on the screen was disturbingly detached.
Well, like we thought, it's not going to work unless someone sits in it.
How ironic that this would be the situation in which this slim, beautiful body is useful.
Lotus, are you sure?
Were you expecting to get the ride in the 9 hours you had to escape?
I can sit in it and you can solve.
Junpei's right. If we screw it up...
Seven couldn't bring himself to finish the thought. His eyes fell to the floor. Junpei followed them. Beneath them was the dead shark, floating underneath the glass. Perhaps it had been killed by an electric shock.
I'll be fine. Even if I fall in, the shark is already dead.
But...
No one likes an indecisive man, Junpei. I can still give you advice from the chair too, you know. I just don't want to stay in this room any longer than we have to. Go over to that screen and let's get this over with.
Alrighty. After her words had made it clear that Lotus would book no argument, she turned and walked toward the chair without hesitation. But she did not sit down. Despite what she had said, she did indeed feel hesitation. Her legs shook.
Look, do you think you could do me one last favor?
Don't say last.
You're making me nervous.
Just listen.
Okay.
If something happens to me, I want you to tell my daughters. Tell them that I loved them very much.
Aww.
No, tell them that I will always love them.
Daughters?
You've got kids?
Yes, I do. I suppose they're about your age, Junpei. They're twins. I had them when I was young after... Well, some things happened.
Oh, shit.
Their names are Nona and...
Wait!
Nona?
Nona?
Junpei's words shot out before he even realized what he was saying. He remembered the story Seven had told him.
Aoi, Light, and Nona. Those were their names. Well, some of them. The kids that were in the experiment.
But what the hell? What's wrong with you?
Lotus took a step back from Junpei.
Oh.
Seven looked just as shocked as Junpei. He blinked, his eyes rapidly. He blinked, his eyes rapidly. Okay, hold on. Take two. He blinked his eyes rapidly, as if he weren't sure if he was completely awake.
No way, it couldn't. Lotus, is your last name Kashiwabara?
Lotus's eyes went wide.
How do you know that?
Are you serious? What the hell is this? There's no way you're that kid's mom.
That kid? Wait, what do you mean, that kid? Why are you acting like you've met her?
Seven's brow furrowed.
I have.
What?
Yeah, I met one of your kids.
When?
9 years ago.
Where?
On this ship.
Why were you...
It's not a short story.
Look, I don't care how long it is. Tell me, please, what happened here?
Fine, I'll tell you.
Seven glanced at Junpei, then turned back to Lotus and began to speak. It was the same story Junpei had heard only minutes before. Every detail.
But... And then, that was when... From there, it looked like... Just as if Finally. That's all I remember from 9 years ago.
At last, Seven finished. Lotus shook her head.
Oh my god. Everything I've been looking for the last 9 years. The person who had all the answers was right here.
Looking for?
Yes, that's right. 9 years ago, my daughters disappeared. Then 9 days later, they came back. They never told me what happened to them over those 9 days. I took them to the doctor, but I was told they hadn't been hurt in any way. Still, I was sure that they had been through something terrible. So I couldn't bring myself to force them to talk about it. If I did, then I'd force them to relive whatever horrors they'd been through. I didn't have any choice. I had to try and ignore it and move on.
Oh.
A few months passed. Gradually, they started to act like they always had, before they disappeared. They smiled and made jokes and did all the silly things kids do.
Hiya, Cat. Welcome in. How are you?
It got harder and harder for me to ask them about what happened. How could I ask them to remember that? Eventually, I knew there was no way I could do it.
Oh, you did? Oh, I hope you enjoy it.
But I'm still a mother. I couldn't simply forget that something terrible had happened to my children. So I decided I would investigate what happened on my own.
No worries. Well, you're very welcome. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you don't want any spoilers, of course. Like, I was gonna say, we're very deep into our second playthrough. So obviously you don't, for spoilers, you're very welcome to come back once you've played a bit more through it, though, by all means.
I would find out what happened during those 9 missing days.
What did you find out?
Nothing. The police pretended to be concerned, but they didn't do anything. Once the 16 children who'd gone missing came back, things were just... Even the media didn't talk about what had happened. I figured someone was probably paying or threatening them to keep their mouths shut.
Probably Cradle.
Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Yep, thank you, Seven.
No, probably something even bigger than that.
Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Have you heard of them before?
No. It's the first time I've ever heard that name. 7. How did you find out that Cradle Pharmaceuticals was connected to the kidnappings in the first place?
I figured finding out whatever the victims had in common would lead me to the culprit. That's what any good cop does.
What did they have in common?
Every single one of the kids who disappeared had gone to this one hospital at some point. The hospital was one of a bunch that were under the control of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. After that, it was just about connecting the dots.
The hospital.
The hospital?
And for a while, I was trying to get some kind of information out of the kids at the hospital. One of them told a weird story.
What was it?
Have you heard about the Gansfeld experiment? I guess all these kids had to go through it while they were at the hospital. I think it was passed off as some sort of counseling.
What did you call it again?
Oh, the Gansfeld experiment.
Here we go.
This
More
is how it's
pseudoscience.
First, subjects Q and A are put into separate rooms, far away from one another. Then a series of video images are shown to subject Q, who is told to send the images to subject A by thinking about them. Subject A, on the other hand, is put in a large reclining chair and given a blindfold. With their senses cut off, A is asked to guess what images Q is looking at.
Oh, yes, I've heard of that. It's a famous telepathy experiment, isn't it?
Telepathy. That's how the experiment on this ship was supposed to work.
The experiment to control people, right?
Lotus took a step back from Junpei.
I don't know if any of the telepathy stuff really exists.
Oops.
But maybe someone from Cradle Pharmaceuticals bought into it.
Even if that is the case, I still don't get how that has anything to do with any of this.
Seven had been thinking hard for the last several minutes and finally spoke.
The Nonary Game, Zero, why we were kidnapped. What does any of that have to do with telepathy? I know I brought all this up, but I have no idea. Maybe none of this stuff is connected after all.
No subject has been detected. Unless a subject is detected within 60 seconds, all power will be shut down.
Uh-oh. Cold voice echoed from the ceiling.
System recovery is estimated to take 1 hour.
Oh, that is an hour we do not have.
If you wish to proceed with the experiment, please seat subject in the restraining device.
Whoa, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going.
Oh, no, that's not what we...
Just hurry up and get it over with. Junpei, I'm counting on you.
Right.
Lotus sat down on the chair. Junpei looked at her one last time, then made his way to the monitor. We should have got a fun... I use the word fun sparingly, but we should have got a CG of Lotus in the chair, because all I'm getting is from the idea of it. I'm just getting vibes of the cover art for Zero Escape Time Dilemma. There's the key art where I won't name names because of spoilers, but a character is in a chair and another has a gun to his head. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. And it would be cool to kind of have that parallel as well of Lotus in the chair and then for the key art of Time Dilemma. But yeah, I don't know.
Lotus, please, tell me right away if you feel anything weird.
You worry too much. Now get on with it and be a man, or June's gonna leave you.
Lotus was putting on the best act she could manage, but her legs were shaking so much that if she hadn't been sitting, she likely would have fallen down.
Lotus.
Failure was not acceptable.
Okay, let's do this.
Oh, okay. If we must.
Absolutely unacceptable!
Junpei took one last deep breath and stared at the monitor. Oh boy. Huh. Okay. Well then let's try 2-2 on this side. And yeah, 1-1 on this side. Yeah, okay, cool. The experiment has concluded. The door will now unlock. I can hear the door unlocking. And now we've got a new message. Release subject from restraining device. Lotus, are you alright? Yes, I am. I'm glad nothing bad happened, but I do think my life just got a little shorter. Hold on. I'll get you out right away. Shouldn't take long for Seven and me to get her out of here. Let's get out of here, now. Being a guinea pig is not for me. Damn straight. I don't ever want to see this thing again. So what exactly was the point of this room? No point going back. Let's just hurry up and get out of here. Oh, it's this door.
The hallway goes to the left.
Yeah, but I don't see any doors.
Guess we just need to keep going.
Right. Let's go.
It turned left twice before they saw the elevator.
An elevator.
Just what we need. Let's take this to C deck.
In silence, they jogged up to it. Junpei pushed the C button. The elevator motor ground away, and before long they found themselves once again on C deck. The door opened and they stepped off.
Huh?
They'd expected to find 4 other people waiting for them. There were none.
No one's here.
Where did they go?
I have no idea.
Lotus shrugged. Something in the pit of Junpei's stomach stirred. He tried to forget the feeling and took off down the long hallway before him.
Hey, Junpei!
We should follow him.
Seven and Lotus followed at a run. They ran and ran and ran, and I ran so far away. I just ran, I ran all night and day. Couldn't get away. Sorry, I'll be good. The hallway seemed endless.
I know where we need to go. The door behind the central staircase. There was a sun symbol on the keyhole of that door. And I happen to have the sun key in my pocket right now. This should open that door.
That was why they ran for the central staircase. They had run for quite some time when they arrived at the door that ended the hallway. Junpei stopped.
All right, time to open this.
He laid his hand on the doorknob, breathing heavy. Seven laid a hand on his arm.
Hold on a sec there.
Huh?
We don't have the key for this one yet, right?
Ush. There is the Jupiter symbol engraved over the keyhole.
That's...
Oh, it's the Jupiter symbol.
Seven was right. They had no Jupiter key.
Then we can't open this door.
Unfortunately, no, we can't.
Jeez, the sun door's gotta be just on the other side of this, you know?
Well, time to go back and do doors 7 and 8.
We can't just stop...
Frustrated, he twisted the doorknob. The door opened.
Hey, it opened.
What?
And the others must have found the Jupiter key.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Yeah, did they go back and do, what, door 7? 7 or 8, one of them, while we were gone? As he spoke, he shoved the door the rest of the way open. They rushed through and stopped cold.
Oh, what?
Terrible scene before them made their blood run cold. Oh! Shit, whoa! 3 people lay dead on the floor, covered in blood.
Why?
Junpei felt a cold sweat trickle down his spine. He couldn't breathe. His legs shook. His body felt cold, deathly cold. But his blood was boiling hot. He could feel his mind begin to fade. He couldn't think. He couldn't concentrate. His mind was blank.
What the hell? What the hell happened?
Seven's voice was weak and broken. He edged toward the bodies. His movement stiff.
Clover.
He bent down over Clover, pressing his fingers to her wrist.
Nothing. She's dead.
Suddenly, Lotus moved. Before he understood what was happening, her hand was in Junpei's vest pocket.
Hey, what are you doing?
He leapt back. Lotus looked up at him, terrified.
The key! Give me the sun key!
Why?
Why do you think? We have to get out of here before the murderer comes back!
The murderer?
The murderer. The murderer. Once again, Junpei looked at the dead bodies.
Santa, Clover, and Ace. 3 people, 3 dead bodies. That means that the person who had killed them was... No. No, it can't be true.
Give it to me!
Phrasing. Before Junpei could react, Lotus dove back into his pocket and came out with the key.
Let's go!
Without waiting for Seven or Junpei, she ran straight for the central staircase. They followed. Junpei shut his eyes and swallowed his emotions. Morning would have to wait. So you just didn't check the other two's pulses? Like, they could be alive? You don't know. Soon, they stood in front of the door.
Open!
Lotus shoved the sun key into the keyhole and twisted it hard. But...
Why?
What happened?
Nothing. Nothing happened. I didn't feel it unlock.
Oh no. Is it the wrong key?
I don't know. Maybe.
Lotus sighed, defeated, and leaned against the doorknob. She felt it twist. A small gap appeared between the door and the frame.
It's open.
What the hell is this?
Someone already opened it beforehand? Was there another sun key?
Wait, you mean the door was already unlocked?
Why?
But how would I know that? Whatever, let's just go.
Lotus took a deep breath and slowly opened the door the rest of the way. Trying to picture Akane taking down any of them in a real fight, and it doesn't work. I mean, that's why Clover had an axe in the other ending, right? And everyone was very bloody, so Akane got a shiv somewhere. In front of them was another hallway. It stretched out toward the bow of the ship. They began to run. Faster and faster they ran, trying desperately to reach the end of the hallway. And no, I'm not singing again, you get 1. I am a terrible idol like that. A few seconds later, they were there. In front of them stood a massive metal door. They were all breathing heavily as Junpei spoke.
What the hell is this door? I can't see anything that looks like a doorknob or switch or lever or card reader or anything. How the fuck are we supposed to open this?
We don't have a choice. We're gonna have to go back.
No, I'm not going back there. There is a murderer back there.
There was more stark terror in Lotus's voice than authority. She was almost begging.
But I don't see any other doors.
I mean, those two indents in the middle kind of look like handles you would pull. Although the door also looks like it should be automatic, like step in front of it, like a supermarket door or something. As he spoke, Seven stepped toward the door in front of them, as if to illustrate that it was the only door. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool.
No way.
It opened by itself.
It's an automatic door?
Look, guys, I've got a really bad feeling about all this.
Yeah, I don't like this.
The other doors were already unlocked, and this one's automatic. We haven't seen anything like this before.
Bad feeling.
How could their situation possibly get worse? 3 people were already dead.
We've hit bottom. This can't get any worse. Shit!
Hey, Junpei!
He stepped through the door.
I can't take this anymore. No one can.
And whatever hope Junpei had managed to summon disappeared. Let me just hydrate here to clear my throat. Thank you for the posture check.
No. It's a lie. It's gotta be. This can't be real. No. It's impossible. If it's a dream, just wake up already. Someone please tell me it's all just a joke. I'm imagining things.
It's just a prank, bro. All your friends are dead. It's just a prank, bro.
Yep, that's it. This is all obviously a lie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big, elaborate trick. An illusion or something, or a dream. It's made up.
It wasn't real, right? June. No. No, the code names meant nothing now. Connie. Connie!
Connie!
Back. Well, Junpei cried out and leapt through the door. He flew to her side, his heart like a stone in his chest.
Connie! Connie, hang on!
Junpei swept her up and shook her by the shoulder. She moaned, and her eyes fluttered open, but only barely.
Connie!
Junpei?
Her face was pale, and her lips were dry and cracked. Her eyes were blank and cloudy, and they stared straight at Junpei, but saw nothing. Junpei put his hand against the small of her back to hold her up. It felt warm and wet. He lifted his hand up. It was covered in blood.
Oh man, Connie, there's so much blood. What the hell happened to you?
Who did this?
How did this happen?
It was all he could do to not break into tears.
Junpei, I'm sorry.
Her voice was a thin, minuscule thread that was the only thing keeping her with him.
I might not make it.
No, no way, no way I am going to let you die. I am going to save you, I promise.
Thank you, Junpei. Thank you so much for everything. I was really happy to see you again, Junpei. Really happy.
Oh, don't give me that I was crap. You're gonna see me again lots more times. You just gotta hang on, all right, Connie?
Those are some fabulous boots.
Ow, what can I do? Damn it!
He looked up from Connie, desperate for something. Anything.
What's that?
And then he saw it. A small submarine.
A submarine? What on earth is a submarine doing here?
No, that didn't matter. Nothing mattered, except saving Connie. That was the only thing he wanted.
That's it!
Junpei turned his head back to look down at her.
Hang on, alright? There's a submarine over there. I'm gonna go see if it works.
No! Don't go. Please, don't go. Please just stay with me, okay? I want to be close to you, Junpei. When I...
Connie.
Junpei, did you know? You meant a lot to me when we were kids. I liked you for a long time, Junpei. A really long time.
Junpei's vision had gone blurry. It took him a moment to realize his eyes were filled with tears. He could feel a piercing point of heat deep in his heart, like a white flame, like a white hot flame.
Junpei, do you remember how we hung out a lot when we were kids? We went to the pool and to the fair. Do you remember playing snowball at the school? They're all memories I'll never forget. All of those moments are treasures to me.
Oh.
I also wanted to go to a lot of other places with you. A lot more.
Oh.
But that won't happen now.
No. I mean, yes. Yes, it will happen. We'll go all sorts of places, Connie. You hear me? I promise. We'll go wherever you want.
You just gotta stay alive.
Really?
Yeah, really. I swear.
That makes me happy. Really happy.
She said it to herself, over and over, a weak smile creasing her tired face.
Junpei. I feel sleepy.
No, Connie, don't fall asleep.
Thank you, Junpei. Thank you. so much.
Her eyes were slowly closing. Junpei screamed, even as he felt his throat go hoarse.
Connie! Connie! Connie!
Time passed. Junpei wept, curled around Kane's body. Cried and cried until he had no tears left. When the last tear fell, Junpei was no more. His body remained, but only as an empty shell. Somewhere, he heard a bell ring. It's the clock at the central staircase. "5 a.m. It rang 5 times, then faded.
5 o'clock.
Quietly, gently, softly, he sat Connie down on the floor. Slowly, Junpei stood. Only then did he realize that Seven and Lotus had not followed him. Where had they gone? Slowly, he looked around the room. There was nothing. No sign that they had ever been there. It felt as though every part of Junpei's body was made of lead. Slowly, he made his way to the door he'd come through. As he approached it, it opened, sliding apart with a sound like grinding stone. Junpei passed through the gate and into the hallway. "Oh, come on!" His heart rattled in his chest, an empty, lifeless thing. It had been so utterly broken that there was nothing left to feel. When he saw their bodies, he simply stared. It was a lake, a sea of blood. 2 bodies lay in it. There was no need to check. There was no breath left in them. His eyes lit on Lotus's wrist. Her bracelet. It was gone. He stared. It meant nothing to him. He didn't care anymore anyway. He couldn't care anymore. Junpei's body felt numb. Part of him knew the lump of lead in his chest had once been a heart. He couldn't quite remember what it had been for. Tears poured from his eyes in great streams. He wasn't sure why. He gave up trying to make them stop. He turned around. The door opened again, and slowly, numbly, he walked through. He kept walking. Why stop? An object set in motion, simple inertia carried him forward. The balls are inert. Eventually, he found himself in front of the submarine. His arm reached for the hatch. And then he was floating in water. His eyes stared down into it. He couldn't see the bottom. His back was hot. Dimly, he felt the blade of a knife in it. Ooh. One dead body lay behind door 5. The body of the 9th man. Another lay in the shower room. The body of Snake. At the central staircase were 3 more. Ace, Santa, and Clover. Just outside the door were 2 corpses. Those of Seven and Lotus. And in this very room lay the body that had... and in this very room lay the body that had once been Connie. And now Junpei would join them. Who, then, had killed them all? Who? Junpei let out one last breath. Faintly, he felt the bubbles creep up the side of his face. His consciousness faded quickly, dissolving away into the cold, gentle lapping of the water. And that is it. That is our second ending. Holy moly. So who murdered everybody? May we ever find out. There are context clues on who has murdered everybody, but we will touch on that much later. Morphogenetic field voice. Evan Smith, Raina Strober, Richard Epcar, morphogenetic field voice. Morphogenetic theory, we will get there again. I think we discussed it briefly in the first run through, but the end. Or is it? Yes, I would like to save. Awesome. So we have the knife and the submarine ending. Cool. So, what does that leave us with? Oh boy. That means next time. See, there's things here that are still locked, and they will remain locked for a little bit. But it means next time we start up, we can just jump straight through to the 3, 7, 8 door choice and go through door 7. And then we have some other choices ahead. Which will guide us towards some other endings. Yeah, okay.